Success is faith. Faith is success. I think faith is everything.
My faith is in God, and I believe that God lives in every person and everything that lives. So I put my faith in people, but the faith starts from God.
Faith to me is a capacity. It's a capacity inside of ourselves that if we can fulfill it, it can become a huge power.
I left home, I was very, very young. I was 17. I decided to study theology. And it was a shock for everybody around me. Not because I was a bad person and then suddenly decided to be a priest, no. But nobody expected me to choose to be a priest. The dream started when I was 15. I was with other two friends. I still have them in Syria. We were looking for the truth. And this journey to find the truth was too idealistic and it was too dreamy. I used to write poetry, I used to like music. I was living in a womb of warmth and love in my family. And I moved from that womb, warm and friendly and loving and caring environment, to this next step, which I said I want to be a priest. And to study theology at that time meant to go to Beirut. We are talking about 1981. And 1981, if you know history, Lebanon was in a hell of a civil war. If you look now in Europe, all of you go to the university, you don't think a bomb will be waiting around the corner to blow you apart. You don't think that you may not come back to your home. I asked myself the question, what is the value of my faith in the hell of war, in the middle of bloodshed, in the middle of evil, in the middle of people killing each other? Believe me, in Beirut, brothers shot at each other without knowing, because they belonged to two different parties. We would go in a basement for 2 weeks, living on a piece of bread and a piece of cheese and half glass of water a day. And we will emerge and ask the question, now which militia actually has occupied now our area? We wouldn't know, because every couple of months a new militia would take over the whole area. And you know, most of that was done in the name of religion, in the name of faith in Beirut. So I had to ask myself the big question. I came here to be a priest, and I am seeing everybody killing and abusing faith. And the bloodshed is done in the middle of, in the name of religion. Now the question, I came here because of faith, to give my life for faith. Is it worth it? What is the value of all that in the middle of bloodshed? And I discovered, in the middle of the darkness of war, you see God clearer than ever. And you see God shining like a sun. Why I'm saying that? Because you see the absolute contrast. And in the daylight, if you switch on a torch, do you see it? You don't. But go in a dark room and switch on the torch, you get the effect in a wonderful way. And in the middle of this dark time I was going through very early in my life, I felt the hand of God so strongly, I couldn't deny it, I couldn't ignore it, I couldn't push it aside. It was persistent in my life. Not because I'm studying theology, but in everyday life. In everyday life in Beirut, death was around the corner. And this period of my life shaped me, formed my personality, my thoughts, my feelings, what I think about life. Until now I am 47. Everything I look at through the spectacles of faith, but the faith which was tested with fire, burning fire. And I feel that a lot of young people these days, they take life for granted, they take their education for granted, their faith for granted, because these values are not being tested. And we take everything easy. Everything is available to us. But remember, in some parts of the world, these simple things we enjoy here are not available. And people are dying for their faith, dying for what they believe in, and dying for their dreams.
With faith, you see something that's above you, something that's got a higher sense, a higher state. So to strive for something that's higher than you are, that's always going to make you be able to reach something more than what you were going to have before.
Since I found faith, I approached the world in a very different way. There was no fear that I couldn't achieve my goals as a singer, for example.
It's just about overcoming them and having the faith and the heart to overcome any obstacle that's put in your way.
I'm a Muslim. I was living in a Muslim country. As you know, I'm from Saudi Arabia. And I think faith is everything in my life. It's having a strong relationship between you and Allah. For example, if I have to make a decision in life, I think by praying I can easily decide what I want, and that could help me. Like if I wanted to make a fast decision or whatever, so I think praying can be really helpful. I think it's a really great religion, and from like personal experiences I had in my life that helped me a lot. By like praying and reading Quran, you can know a lot about Islam, so it inspires you to do a lot of great things, like helping people, helping poor people also, and things like that. So you can make good things happen by having Islam in your life. If you had an obstacle in life, you should always turn to God. He will lead the path for you and make it a lot easier. Simply by praying, doing all the, like having a good heart. If you wanted the best for people, you'll get the best for yourself. I really hope that I can become a very great lawyer. So hopefully I can make a change in that field.